dudes, welcome to Sense of Style. I'm Stuart. Just go out and buy these. They're all really good. They're all really good. There's 8 fragrances. 3 of them I purchased twice. That's incredibly rare for me. One of them is a fragrance. It's one of 3 that I wear like almost all the time. And then there's a couple others that are like superb, like really good clones. There's not a lot I got to say here. These are really good. I fully recommend them. There are a couple of fragrances on the list where people have asked me about them before. They weren't available then. I will give you a location to buy them. Let's get to it. Fragrance number 1 is Starman Nebula. And this is from Fragrance World. This is a clone of Pure Malt by Mugler. And that's a fragrance I had no desire to ever wear. I bought Pure Havana. I liked it. I didn't love it. I had no real desire to buy Pure Malt. I'm thinking, why would I want something that smells? I looked at the ingredients, a little bit like beer. There's a whiskey note, and it's malt, like alcoholic, and like it smells like beer. No interest at all. I knew it was a classic. So when this came out, I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. For $30, why not? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is absolutely unbelievable. It is one of those scents where you try it and you go, why didn't I think of that? Like it just makes sense. I know it sounds strange. It's one of the few fragrances, I think there's only a couple where I've just gone, wow, that really makes sense that that's out there. What they've done here is they've added some fruity notes to the malt. So there's a lot of fruit. It's not just malt. And it makes it a little bit more appealing. This is a masculine fragrance. I have no idea whether this would get compliments or not. I don't care because it smells so good. I would imagine a few. The performance is also exceptional. I get at least 8 hours with this with a fair chunk of projection. It's a $30 clone. You can get this at fragrancebuy.ca if you're curious where to get it. It's, this is fragrance number 2. This is Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, and it normally goes up there, but it's down here because I'm filming. But the reason it goes up there is because I can get it a lot easier than having to go in my fragrance cupboard. And I wear this one as much as any fragrance that I wear in my personal life. It's got lots of myrrh, a little bit of vanilla. It is extremely elegant and classy. You can wear it to the office. It's not so much a party fragrance, but it is fantastic. It's super elegant and really nice. How much do I like this? Well, when I first got it, I got it as a travel spray. Now, the label had Prada Amber on it. I looked up Prada Amber on Fragrantica, and it said it was for women. And I was like, that's a shame. I was really bummed because I loved it. And I thought, oh, geez, maybe I have. Anyway, I wore it anyway. I eventually figured out it was Amber Pour Homme and not the female version. And as soon as I realized that, I bought a bottle. That's how much I like it. That's how good this is. It's more expensive than the other ones on the list, but it's worth it. Next up, we have Dark Rebel Rider from John Varvatos. Now, this is a fragrance a couple of people have bugged me about. I had a video on it, and because I really like it, and they could tell. And they wanted to buy a bottle. And when I did the initial video, it was available at FragranceNet. Now, it's not available anymore, and that's when they contacted me. It is available at myperfumes.ca, a Canadian website that ships to the US and Canada. It's available right now at a reasonable price. And the reason they like this and the reason I like this, I don't know. It's just great. It's a lot of leather and tons of resins. It's got olibanum, and then it's also got a generic resin note, but it's got no alcohol in it, no alcohol note, but it comes off as sort of smoky and boozy and intoxicating. That's the word I would use for this fragrance, is intoxicating. Wow. And it is a leather fragrance, so it's supposed to be strong. That is the one flaw here, unfortunately. Look, when you first put it on, tons of projection. It lasts about 15 minutes. You can still smell it after 4 hours reasonably well, but it's not the strongest leather fragrance I've ever tried. Performance is an issue. John Varvatos, they are aware that they have a problem with performance, but The scent here is fantastic. It's a perfect scent for going out with the guys. Whenever I think playing pool, it's a perfect pool hall fragrance, but it smells amazing. Okay, this next one, I might get some pushback from younger viewers. This is Habit Rouge Eau de Parfum. Everyone can thank this fragrance, I believe, that's my personal theory, for the use of iris. Why? Because this came out in mid-60s, big powdery rose. So the very first powdery fragrance for men. And then people like Sean Connery started wearing it. Now, he's one of the most masculine men that ever lived. He's James Bond, and he really liked Habit Rouge. I've read that a couple different places. This is his fragrance of choice, and this had a powdery quality. It was a rose note. Iris is also powdery, but actually rose is probably worse. So I don't know how people wore this in the mid-60s. So if you think it's like super old school, I don't know about that. It does have the powdery rose. It also has lemon, and it has a little bit of old school vanilla and some leather, but really it's the lemon and the rose that you get. It is an absolute classic. Now, for young guys like 35 and under, try it first. You might not like it. Older guys have probably heard of it. They know it's a classic. This is a classic. I love it. Next up, we have Supremacy in Oud by AFNAN. This is a clone of Initio's Oud for Greatness. I wore this yesterday. I went for a walk. No word of a lie. 3 hours after I put this on, I could still smell it. Now, I only did 5 sprays around my neck. I didn't go hunting on my hand or anything. This has really good performance. I had a sample of Oud for Greatness. I compared it with this directly, and it's just pretty much what you would expect. This is a more sort of powdery version of it, which is what clones normally do. But this also has great performance. It smells very much like it, just not as succinct. The presentation for this particular fragrance is outstanding. The box it comes in, everything. And there's really not a whole lot to say. Like, if you like Oud for Greatness, which, by the way, is a sweet oud. It's quite sweet. So if you're not a big oud fan, because you think it's a little bit too woody, too toxic, you might want to try this or Oud for Greatness. There is a degree of sweetness. This is very good. The projection here is crazy good. I mean, I don't know. This one's a little bit more than the $30 for the AFNAN Supremacy line because the packaging is so high quality. It might be 40, 45, but yeah, it's a great buy. Okay, next up, we've got a Bentley for Men Intense, a fragrance, and this is the 15 mil. I've had this for 2 years, that I would never, and I mean never, have put on any list, good, bad, or indifferent, because I didn't like this. It's got incense and rum, so a very, very toxic feel to it. And I got that for the first year at least. But this has settled down substantially over time. Now it smells amazing. It has still kept that phenomenal performance. This is very, very inexpensive. $35 for a full bottle at the discounters with crazy performance. But the great thing here is the toxic quality. The incense has died down. The rum has died down. I still got a little bit of those, but the sweetness has gone up. It's just really nice. Yeah, I can't not recommend it at this stage because I do really like this so much. Next up, we have Odyssey pour by AFNAN, and this is a clone of Tom Ford's Noir Extreme, which is a fragrance that I have to admit, I really like that fragrance. And the fact that this is a decent clone of it makes this even more appealing for me. This is very inexpensive. This is by Armaf. This has, like, for 2 minutes at the opening, it goes on a little fruity, which is not Noir Extreme at all. That is kind of a creamy vanilla with a little bit of spicy cardamom. The original Noir Extreme is a little smoky. It's very deep. This doesn't have the smokiness, but the depth and the subtlety and just the sort of general feel of Noir Extreme is definitely there. This, I would say, is 85-90% a clone. And at the moment, since I purchased this, I've worn this more than any other fragrance, mainly because I love Noir Extreme so much, and it's very expensive, so I go with the clone instead. Finally, we have This is Polo Green. Now look, Habit Rouge, I give all of you 35 and unders, millennials, Gen Z, I give you a pass on staying away from old school fragrances because I know how different they are from the modern fragrances. You do not get a pass for not understanding and not liking this. To me, it is beyond comprehension. I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of not, that I just can't understand how people wouldn't like this. Yes, it's a little bit of a dirty fragrance. It's got some, leather and tobacco, but the pine here is beautiful. This is just a fantastic fragrance overall. If you don't like that, try Highness 3 by AFNAN. It's a very good clone. It's quite expensive. This, though, which is the original, is a little bit cheaper, a lot cheaper, actually. $42 at the discounter for this size. This is 60 milliliter bottle. My God, this is amazing. Yes, it's different. But this is a classic scent to me. It just boggles my mind because I love this so much. And I'm not really a big fan of old school fragrances in general. I know that sounds weird given my age, but I'm not. But this is different. At least try this because I think it's spectacular. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. Peace and love. Take care.